Welcome, gentlemen. Obviously, I know Liverpool play tonight. Do you want to talk about it or do you want to speak about Wirtz?
I've got one thing to say about that game. Thank God I never have to watch Núñez after this season. Thank God I never have to watch Darwin Núñez play for this football club after this season. Outside that, don't really
Never
care.
forget you backed him in August, but I'll let it go.
The drowning man will delude himself and try and drag others down with him. We needed him to work and it didn't. So just give me whatever money I get for him now.
Yeah. Anyway, no one cares about the game.
Arsenal fans do.
Yeah, I mean, Igal is making it a thing on Twitter. It's just very sad the way he's coming out. So, what do you want to talk about, Terry?
Well, I wanted to ask you about the situation with Wirtz. Paul Joyce has come out tonight and said that you guys will make a bid. We obviously all seen the news today that City have pulled out. Liverpool are going to send a proposal through to try and sign him. Sammy McBell and a few others have all confirmed that you're really going to push for this deal. What do you rate your chances of signing him?
I think the pinnacle for German players is Bayern Munich. That's just the unfortunate reality. I think one of the things that happens in Germany that does not exist in England is I truly believe that there is only one big club in Germany. That's just the reality of the situation. Like, you know, in England, there's Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, blah, 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 like even City now. But in Germany, that's not the case. In Germany, it's like they've got Bayern Munich that's really massive, and then you've got clubs that are like okay, and then, you know, like a little bit known, stuff like that, like with Dortmund and stuff. So most players in history, like Toni Kroos, Neuer, wherever club, like it's just the best of the best, the Kloses, even the Podolskis. The best of the best German players always dream about playing for Bayern Munich. I mean, we even saw it with Leroy Sané. You know, the guy was playing at Manchester City, having a fantastic season, and even he decided to move to Bayern. Same thing with Gnabry. Like, it gives you a guarantee essentially to play for the national team. You're guaranteed league titles. It's a dream for German players to play for Bayern Munich. And here's the thing. It shows great ambition for us to try. It shows great ambition for us to actually attempt to get the player in, which I think is important to at least be on the table for a player like this. When a talent like this is available, when a player like this is available, I think it's important for us to show face, you know? It's important for us to show face. It's important for us to be there when stuff is needed. So for me, I like the fact that we're there, but I do think that he is going to end up at Bayern Munich. Like, that's just my honest opinion. I think he's going to end up there. I think it's very important for us to be on the table. Just in case, you know, he wakes up and he goes like, yo, I want to leave Germany. We're there. And I think it's important. Obviously, the stories that came out 4 or 5 days ago, the Bayern director came out and said like, yo, you guys are reporting lies. He wasn't even meeting with Manchester City. He was meeting with Liverpool. Mm-hmm. So I guess that in itself is... you know, the Bayern director actually called it out. He said, you guys write bullshit every week. That's what he said. The guy was meeting Liverpool representative, not even Man City representative. So City pulled out. I guess Wirtz wasn't interested in the City thing. You know, some people want to play for a club where it means more. So, yeah, I think this is strictly a decision of if Wirtz goes like, I want to leave Germany, he's coming to Liverpool. So it's just a matter of preference for him and his family and his life.
I think I get your point, and I don't necessarily disagree that Bayern is the pinnacle for a German footballer. My hope is that as a German footballer, he's achieved everything he can in Germany, though. If he goes to Bayern, he's just achieving what he done at Leverkusen. My hope would be that he looks at this as an opportunity to take his talent somewhere new and take on it differently, because if we're being honest here, no title for Bayern Munich is going to match, unless they win an entire season winning every game, it's not going to match what he done with Leverkusen, going invincible. So it's not like it's the only thing he can do in Germany that he hasn't done is win the Champions League. And we could do that here. I don't think that's necessarily something that has to be done in Germany only, per se. I'm hoping, it's hope, that he considers that and goes, I think it's time for me to try somewhere new in my career. Try a different country, try a different culture, try a different culture. and play for one of the most exciting teams on the planet. And I do think if he gives us the go-ahead and says, look, I'd play for you, I'd join you, I do think we pull out every stop to make it happen.
No, I agree with that, Tom. But we're talking about decisions here made by a German player being approached by Bayern Munich. What this has nothing to do with rejection. This has nothing to do with clubs. Like, okay, Liverpool are willing to put the money on the table. Liverpool are willing to do all this. We get it. The reports are there and everything. Beautiful. All I'm saying is, based off of history of all the players that we have watched, based off everything that has happened in the past, the truth of the matter is, I look at someone like a Florian Wirtz, and just like any German player, he wants to play for Bayern Munich. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. Unless what you're saying is true. Unless he wants to challenge himself, try a different league, blah, blah, blah. Then Liverpool will be there, which is fantastic for us, obviously.
All you can do in that scenario is,
Right.
like you say, be there, try. And if he does want to stay in Germany, then fair enough. Like, he's entitled to that. He's got the option, and if he wants to try and force that for whatever reason, but if you don't try, you don't get. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think you've got to go for it. I mean, Ram, how do you see it? I mean, is it a player you would like to see Liverpool break? Because you are going to have to break it's going to be a lot of money to bring him in, salary, transfer fee, etc. Is that something would you be comfortable with that? If you offered maybe, 20, 30, 40 grand a week more money as well, is that something you want to see FSG do from a ambition perspective?
Terry, respectfully, we're paying that kind of money for a superstar. He is a superstar at the end of the day. He's one of the golden childs of Germany. I'll compare, if we do end up signing him, is very, very comparable to when we signed Terrace in 2007. He is that kind of caliber player. He's arguably top 10 youngsters in the world, even top 5. I could go further than that. Like, the quality that he possesses, the technical ability, he may not be the golden child of Germany. I still think Musiala has been crowned that because he's been Bayern through and through, and that's how we all know Germany is basically Bayern Munich in a nutshell. But for me, and I keep hearing this word ambition thrown all the time in the Terrace group chat. If you're telling me we're going to spend money, 150 million, it looks like, on someone like Florian Wirtz, I'm telling you, that's ambition if I haven't seen it. That is talking about competing with the best of the best to sign a superstar that can really take you forward. He has the quality, he has the ability, both not only for club but also for country as well. He's performed well for Germany, and is a starlet for Germany as well. You saw him at the Euros; he was tearing up with Musiala, both of them together. The one thing I will say, if he joins Bayern Munich, will he be the star boy? Because Musiala has always been that. Ever since Hansi Flick put him in, everyone said Musiala is going to be the star boy. He's going to be that guy that takes us forward. Would he want to settle for that? Because he will probably be the second choice behind him. And you know how players are like. They can be very arrogant, very egotistical.
They can. Can I ask a question? I don't know the answer to this. The question: what are the German? In America, if they get a boxer, especially if he's like a big weight, and he happens to be, I'll just say it, if he happens to be like white, blondie hair, blue eyes, he's like the great American hope type, the great white hope they call him, and they seem to get, and they do. A Germany like that as a nation where, because like Wirtz, everything about him looks and sounds sort of typical German. Would they kind of elevate him to be the poster boy, or maybe they don't act that way? Because, for instance, France don't do that. England don't do that. Like Saka's our boy. Like, I'm just saying, is that something Germany would do?
Oh, I mean, Germany is very good at building up their own talent without putting too much pressure on them. The way I see it is in terms of a stylistic point of view.
I actually just understood what Terry said. Yeah, that's what I was saying as well when I was saying why I think he joins Bayern. I get what you meant now. That's the same thing that I was trying to explain. I just think they all want to play for Bayern. I'll be honest with you. Like, if given the chance, they would all be like, they want to be like the poster child and stuff like that.
I get that. It's just some countries have this thing where, like, if someone's got a certain type of name, certain type of look, they get elevated up the ladder. Where in England, when it comes to heavyweight boxers, it don't matter. Do you know what I mean? Frank Bruno weren't even our best, and he's one of our greatest legends. But I know
The reason,
America do
the
it.
reason why I
don't know
pushed
about
back on
Germany.
that, Terry, the reason why I pushed back on that, I felt as though ever since Musiala came through, especially from the German press, he was seen as the boy, that guy, the golden child. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I read a
Like,
comment that made me laugh.
I just feel as
I know
though
which one.
he was inaugurated as that kind of person.
Yeah.
So-
Now, again, by the way, listen, if you're in Germany and you're watching, I'm not trying to offend. I'm just asking a question, and I'm not saying it's good, bad, or indifferent. It's just Liverpool Football Club do it for Scousers. Like Liverpool Football Club, you could have, like Wirtz, you could buy him and he's a superstar. If Liverpool suddenly had a born and bred Scouser that came through the academy that was in and around the same level, he would be elevated to a different level, because Liverpool do that to their own on a more local scale. Some clubs do it, some nations do it. I'm just asking that question. I just want to know.
It's like Christian Pulisic, I think, was a little bit like that for the US. Like
Yes.
he was the great American hope. The guy, I hope.
Who else did they have though? We're not doing Josie Altidore, the great American
Josie
hope, now, are
Altidore.
we?
Tyler Adams, mate. Tyler Adams. Weston McKennie.
Tim Howard could not
Just
continue to be the
break
great
it down
American
real
hope at
quickly, just from a
35.
football perspective. Let me just say one thing. Bayern don't want to pay the 150 million. Let's establish that first. Bayern don't want to pay the 150 million. Bayer Leverkusen don't want to sell to Bayern Munich. They would prefer if Florian Wirtz left the whole league. So in terms of club to club, it would be easier for Liverpool Football Club to deal with Bayer Leverkusen Football Club. The problem is, if Wirtz says, I want to go to Bayern Munich, then there is nothing that we can do about it, because it's simply the stuff that we've been talking about, which is German player dream, Neuer from Schalke, Toni Kroos, Leverkusen players, Michael Ballack. We all know, you watched what happened with Leverkusen 30 years ago, infamously. 20 years ago, sorry, Terry. When they lost out on everything, Ballack ended up at Bayern. It's just the German dream. There's nothing we can do about it.
How long has he got left on his contract? How long has he got left on his contract?
2 years.
Ultimately,
2 years.
they can't. Okay, yeah. Then it comes.
One thing I will push back on: if you look at historically German players that are elevated worldwide, like your Kroos, Mateus, to an extent, they all left Germany. And Mateus went to Italy, won a Ballon d'Or, won several league titles with Inter.
Timo Werner.
Klinsmann, I was going to say.
You want put Timo Werner there, put Timo Werner there.
You get the point I'm asking. Like I say, I'm only asking the question because, and listen, in fairness, I think in football, internationally, we definitely do it. The way Raheem Sterling would be treated even when he was our best player versus Harry Kane. It's not on the players, by the way. And I'm only asked a question based on what Ram said. And it's like he wouldn't be the poster boy at Bayern. And I'm asking the question, could he be? Because he is a typical, could he just be? They go, that's the poster boy we want, to be the star player of the biggest team in a country that loves its football. I'm just asking. I don't know the way it works. It's only a question. Question shouldn't offend people. It's knowledge. Maybe you go, no, they're not like that. And I go, well, I've learned something today. Let's do a few super chats here. First one says, how bad are Arsenal missed opportunity in the Premier League and all? You can't be blaming that. You're talking about because Liverpool haven't won one of their last 3 games. Game states changed.
Oh my
changed.
God.
Changed.
I'm shocked we got 1 point.
The players came back from Dubai 2 days ago. You saw the Instagram posts. Have some shame. Fucking Arne Slot was in Ibiza, bro, partying, bro, with the DJ. Allow it, man.
Like, he started Federico Chiesa. That's the biggest message. He started Chiesa. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
No one cares at this point. If anything, I find it funnier how Arsenal fans are reacting. The big thing now is, Liverpool can't get as many points as we got last year. Oh, whoop-de fucking do. So if you'd done that this year, you would have won the title.
Yeah,
but you know what will happen if we draw a couple of games at the start of next season. What they'll do, they'll say in the last 7 Premier League games, Liverpool have got 4 points, or that's what they'll do. So it'll become a talking point if something like that happens. But
the only time it becomes an issue is if you start next season slowly and it's like, oh my God, since you've been champions, you've only won 1 in like 8 games. And
yes,
it can, but I just don't think it matters at this particular juncture.